من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها والأرض وما طحاها نفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها صدق الله العلي العظيم. بالعالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين بالقاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Let us recite Surah Al-Fatiha for the founding fathers, Imam Jawad Shirri, and for the deceased of the board members, your deceased, and all martyrs of Islam. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. قال الله جل وعلا في محكم كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عليكم يا بني آدم ألا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين ونعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Holy Quran, verses 60 and 61, did we not take an oath from you, O children of Adam, that you should Satan, he hath. Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters in Islam, in faith, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Over the past course of 12 days, we are talking about our lecture series topic, which is Shaitan and how he misguides mankind. The tools and the tricks and the plots that he uses out of his own playbook to come and to mislead us away from the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we came forth on the first day and we spoke about the benefits of existence. Then we saw the two different kinds of paths. And we said that there are two different kinds of paths. That path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and that path of and there is that worship of the shaitan. That worship of the shaitan, if you worship Allah to gain a worldly reward, just to gain a worldly reward, just like how when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kicked him out of the heavens, he kicked him out. He said, buddy, get out of here, you're not welcome here anymore. So as he was leaving, Shaitan said, okay, Allah, but I need some bus money. Bus money. You know those unfortunate ones, for example, when they go to jail, and they get out of jail, what do? They give them some bus money, some money to catch the time. did? He kicked him out of the heavens. Shaitan wanted to come and get some bus money. So this bus money, what did he tell him? He told Allah, "Oh Allah, I've worshipped you for 6,000 years. I think that I deserve something. Can you give me something?" But he disobeyed Allah. So Allah doesn't have to give him anything. But what did he do? Allah gave him a chance. He told him, "Okay, you can ask for whatever you want." But what did Shaitan come and ask for? Instead of asking for forgiveness, he could have asked for forgiveness. He could have asked for the heavens, for the earth, anything that he wanted. Allah gave him a chance that he didn't give to anyone else in the whole universe. So what did Shaitan ask? He said, "Okay, Allah, since I have worshipped you for 6,000 years, I want you to give me a long life. Give me a long life. I want to live forever." This was Shaitan's wish. So Shaitan, give me a long life. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him that chance, and He gave him that command to bow down to Adam, when Allah commanded Shaitan to bow down to Adam, he was testing his obedience, his level of obedience. Allah is saying that, okay, I have given this training to Shaitan. Before he was a shaitan, before he became a shaitan, he was a jinn. And we said, the first question that we answered in our research when we began our lecture series topic, what did we say? We said, why did Allah create a shaitan? Why did Allah make shaitan? Why did He make him? If God knew that shaitan was going to come, the devil was going to come and to try to trick us and to mislead us away from Him, why did He? Why? Because we know that Allah is good. Allah is good, Allah is nice. You know, He's our protector. He wants only good things for us. So why would He create, why would He make something evil, right? It doesn't make any sense. But you find that Allah created a jinn. He created a jinn that turned and shaitan. For example, how many of you have little brothers here? Raise your hand. I have a little brother too. You find that sometimes your youngest brother, for example, if his name is Ali, right? Muhammads are usually quiet, but the Alis are the worst. I don't know, maybe sometimes these days, you know, Muhammads are equal or the same. But anyways, say for example, his name is Ali, right? You tend to find sometimes these kids, they're wild. They have more energy than usual, more than the rest of the kids. Where do you find them? You find them in the principal's office. You find them always. You find them giving heart attacks to the Sunday schools. You know, this is where you find them. What do they call them? They call them a shaitan, little shaitan, little shaitan, little devil, right? Shaitan. Now, if I would go to the mother and ask the mother, why did you bring a shaitan to this life, into our lives? Why did you create a shaitan? Why did you give birth to a shaitan? Why? What will she say? She will say, brother, my intention was not to give birth to a shaitan, to a shaitan. My intention was to give birth to a mu'min, to a God-fearing person, to a person that does dua, a person that's helpful in the community. This was my intention. So, what am I trying to get to? The point is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's intention, He created a jinn that He Himself turned into a shaitan. So Allah did not make shaitan. He made a jinn that turned into shaitan. He became evil. So that's the first thing that we spoke about. So when we come and we speak about the different paths of shaitan, that path of Allah or that path of shaitan, we're talking about the worship of shaitan. So what did shaitan do? He wanted the reward in this life. Oh Allah, give me a long life. So he wanted the credit, he wanted the cash of dunya instead of the credits of akhirah. He wanted instant satisfaction. He wants it now. So when you want a worldly reward for your worship, that means that you are worshiping Allah worldly reward. And this was the worship of shaitan, because he wanted the reward in this life. But if you want to do the worship of Allah, say for example, worship of shaitan. Worship of shaitan. Oh Allah, I'm praying, I'm doing dua for you, so you can give me a nice car. You can give the idea to my parents, and you can give the idea to convince, inshallah, my mother to buy me a car or to lease me a car. Ya Allah, please just give her the idea. You know, I'm trying to convince her every day. You know, I'm hinting her. You know, I'm helping her in the kitchen. I'm washing a few dishes in there. You know, trying to gain her trust and credit from her. So inshallah, she can, you know, lease me that car or buy me that car with the brothers as well. So you are helping her not because Allah commanded you to help your parents, birr al-walidain, helping her so you can get something out of her. You can get a car out of her. You can get allowance out of her. You can get money out of her. That's why you obey your parents, so you can get things out of them, not because Allah wanted you to be nice to your parents. So it's one thing to be nice to your parents, just to be nice, and it's another thing to be nice to them and expect something out of them. Like for example, how would you feel if someone wanted to be your friend just because you have, like for example, what can I say? You have something that they like in your home. In your house, you have like a computer or something, and the only reason that they come to your house is to use your computer. They don't come because they like you as a person, because you're funny, or you have a good personality, or they like your character, or they like you as a person. The reason why they come to your house is so they can play with your toys, with the things that you have in your house. That's why they come. How would you feel? And they ignore you. When they're with you, they ignore you. Like you're talking to them. You know how sometimes you talk to your friends, or so-called friends, you talk to them, and he's not even paying any attention to you. Whether it's a he or a she, you're talking to them, he's like looking around, he's looking at his watch. The worst thing is when they look at their watch. And you know, what is it? Am I wasting your time? They look at the watch, they look at the cell phone. You know, it's like they have to be somewhere. I mean, hello, there's someone standing in front of you who's talking to you, they're looking around, you know. They're in another world. They're on Mars. I don't know where they are. I don't know, I know there's a candy bar called Mars. I don't know if it's still there. But I know there's a Snickers, you know, why wait? Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So where am I going with this? The reward of this life compared to the akhirah. So if you worship Allah, then you would not expect anything in return. Like you worship Him because you've discovered that He deserves to be worshipped. This is the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then we came and we spoke about the weapons. And the reason why I'm recapping off of what we spoke about the first day is because we only have today and tomorrow. That's it. Then Ramadan is over. No more Ramadan. And then we have a big Eid celebration in which you can come, inshallah, bring all your family and friends and celebrate the Eid. Okay? So we talked about shaitan's weapons. The weapon is hasad and jealousy. The second weapon that he used was that you use your brain and your intellect in the face of the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then we came yesterday and we spoke about how the shaitan comes to us. Now, as we speak right now, how does shaitan come to me? How is he going to come to me? You find that when there wasn't a God, shaitan, he never came to claim or bring forth a false God. You find that when the concept of God was there, he came and he tried to mislead the people. For example, during the time of Nabi Musa, alayhi salatu wassalam, during the time of Nabi Musa, what happened? You find that the idea of God was there. But you find during the time of Nabi Nuh, the idea of God was not there. Adam came, we said Prophet Adam, he came, established the idea of the oneness of God. But it didn't last. 9 generations after, Nuh came. Also, he wasn't very successful with doing that. Then after him, then along came Nabi Musa. Musa came, what happened? The idea of God was there, but it was vague. It was ambiguous. The concept of God was vague. So what happened? The people of Prophet Musa, they wanted to come and they didn't believe, they believed in a God, but it was vague. What happened? The people of Musa, they came and they said, we want to see God. We don't believe in God. I mean, okay, fine. We believe in God, but we want to see Him. So what did Nabi Musa do? He went up in the mountain and started praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the deal was that after 30 days, he would come down with an answer. He would show the people, you know, a sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he went 10 days, and then Allah extended it for another 10 days, because He wanted to test the people. After those 30 days, someone came forth, and what did he say? He said that there is a God, but Nabi Musa, he said that he was going to show us God, but he didn't show us God. And he's a prophet and he doesn't lie, that means he died. That means he's dead. So, to come and to tell us who God is, or show us God. So what happened? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala extended after those 30 days, 10 more days to test the people, to see what they're going to do. What did one person do? One person came after Prophet Musa, when he was still in the mountain. What did he do? He came and he said, okay, Prophet Musa is not going to come, he's not going to show us who God is. So, I'm going to tell you who God is. So what did he do? He came and he brought a cow, and he said, this cow is God. A cow of gold. And he said, this cow is your God. Then you had some people who came forward and said that this date is your God. And you find that some people in the world, until this day, they still worship dates. They worship the tamur, the date that we eat for Ramadan. When we break our fast, they worship it, they obey it. And you find that when this date does not do what they wanted it to do, when they pray to it, what do? They eat it. So they eat their God, because the date didn't do what they wanted it, to do. It's a date. How are you going to worship a date? So they came and they wanted to worship the cow. So it wasn't really working out for them. So then Prophet Musa came. He came to establish the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is the idea? What am I trying to get here? The point is that when there is a concept of God, the idea of God is there, but it's ambiguous, it's vague. So whenever a is vague, it's ambiguous, shaitan, what will he do? He will come and squeeze himself in there and tell you, okay, since the idea of God is not clear to you, I'm going to come and teach you who God is. This is how shaitan comes to you. So what am I trying to get to? Whenever there is the idea and the concept is vague, such as God, the idea of God is vague, Shaitan will come and try to bring a false God, like a cow or a date. Or if you have prophethood, the idea of prophethood has been changed. So what will he do? He will bring forth a false prophet because it's vague and it's ambiguous. The prophethood is not clear. So when Prophet Muhammad came out, for example, you have Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for his love, give me a salawat. You find when the Prophet came, they seen that prophethood, the previous prophets, they really didn't have a good history. They were all either killed or they were tortured. You know, they really had a bad history. But when Prophet Muhammad came, they seen him as someone who had so many privileges. So they wanted to become prophets. So you had false prophets that came forth. So these false prophets that came, they came because the ideology of prophethood was vague. They came, they wanted to be prophets. So Shaitan squeezed himself again in there, and he wanted to bring forth false prophets. Okay? Now we come to the Imams. The Imams, no one wanted to become an Imam, to become a false Imam, right? When Imam Ali was the Imam, because he was poisoned and he was hit with the sword, poisonous sword. I mean, who wants to become an Imam if you're going to get killed that way? You're going to get a sword hitting you, poisonous, you're going to die. Imam Hassan, same thing, he was poisoned. Imam Hussein, same thing. He had only a group of 72. He went to Karbala and he was slaughtered and beheaded and thirsty. This was Imam Hussein. Who wants to be an Imam if you're... But we said when it came to the time of Al-Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam, and he brought the idea of Khumus forward, everyone wanted to become an Imam because it had to do with money. So you find that when the idea is vague and ambiguous, such as when the Imams, prophets just bring forth, they come forth like with Prophet, teach you by misguiding you, inviting you to misguidance. So where am I trying to take you? Whenever the concept is there, Shaitan will come and try to give you the opposite. He'll try to give you an option. He'll tell you, you have a brain, you have a mind, you have an intellect, you're not. God gave you a brain, use your brain. But where does He want you to use your brain? In the face of the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's where He wants you to use your brain. So, when the concept of God is there, Shaitan will come and try to bring a false God. When the concept of prophethood is there, he will try to come and to bring a false prophet. When the concept of imamah is there, he will try to come and bring a false imam. That's why you find some people, there's like this one person, I don't know, I've seen him, he come here, this guy has really issues. You know, he tells me, I'm the imam of the time. MashaAllah, you're the imam of the time. You know, like, because we have Imam Mahdi, alayhi salatu wassalam, Ajjallahu ta'ala farajhu sharif. You have people coming, claiming that they're the imam of the time. I'm the imam. You have them, they're popping out. Like Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. He's the imam. He's the one, you know, he is the imam of the Muslims. He's coming claiming his khilafah and his imamah for all the Muslims. Okay? This is Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. He's claiming he is the imam. But who is the real imam? The real imam and awaited imam is Imam al-Mahdi. Ajjallahu ta'ala farajhu sharif. He's a direct descendant of the Holy Prophet. We all know who Imam al-Mahdi is. He is the real imam. But you find, what is Shaitan doing? He brings forth a false imam. Why? Because the concept of imamah is there. That's how he comes. To application and being practical about what we're talking about. We gave so many histories, so many examples in history about prophets and about imams, these stories, all of these things, how does it apply right now as we speak in our daily lives? When I see someone, how do I know, for example, a scholar, when I want to see if that scholar is real or fake, how do all of these qualities of shaitan, how do these weapons that shaitan uses, how does it apply to my life? Well, it applies to your life. For example, when you want to come and to know for your own sake, for your own salvation, the difference between a real scholar and a fake scholar. It's for your own benefit. And there's no way, brothers and sisters, that you will able to discover this and know this without having the purification of the heart. You have to be pure. You have to be honest with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yesterday, I was speaking to my friend, and he asked me, he told me, brother, I don't want anything. All I want is to be good. I want to be good. I want to do halal. I want Allah to be happy with me. Because I know that a believer is happy. He's always happy. And he's satisfied. He's content. So what can I do? So another brother was standing there, and he told him that Ayatollah Bahjat, rahmatullah, he was one of the most pious scholars back in the day, and he passed away in Iran. They came to him and they told him, oh, Ayatollah Bahjat, we want to gain the highest of statuses to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We want to be the closest of servants to Allah in obedience. What should we do? I mean, is there any specific formula, any type of dua that I read, any type of salah that I do? Is there anything that I can do, that you can give me, specific formula? He said, yes, it's very simple. Just do your wajibat. Your wajibat. What are your wajibat? Salah. Pray your salah. That's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just do your wajibat. You don't have to do anything else. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. Really, it isn't. To gain that spirituality and to gain that confidence. Our Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what does he say? He says, when you do it boldly. Do it with confidence. Anything that you do, whether you are a brother or a sister, you do it boldly. And even as a sister, you can still be bold in your community, in society. Be bold in society. You don't have to raise your voice, say, oh, look at me. No one's going to do this. But you, through your intellect and through your education and through the gifts that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, to influence society by your actions. What does Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam say? He says, كُونُوا دُعَاةً صَامِتِينَ لَنَا بِغَيْرِ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ. Be silent propagators to us without the use of your tongues. So, a sister can have influence on her society by not saying one word. A brother can have influence on his society without saying a word. For example, you're in the workplace and the time for salah comes. What will you do? Will you wait for the salah to pass and become qada and then go home and make the salah? Will you take permission from your employer to find a room in your company and pray there? If you do the second one and you take permission from your employer, don't think that your employer is going to look at you sideways or is going to look down on you because you've taken that initiative to pray to your Lord. Let me ask you a question. Who is in charge of your sustenance? Who is the one that gives you the sustenance? Such a low level that you're scared you might lose your job or someone may look at you different or think about you differently when you are opposing the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I guarantee, if you go to your employer and you tell them, I have to pray, the time for prayer has come, or you tell them ahead of time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will infuse in that person's mind love for you. Why? This is Allah. The Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, what does he say? ما أصلح ما بينه وبين ربه أصلح الله ما بينه وبين الناس. Whoever improves his relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will guarantee the relationship of society. All of a sudden, you'll start seeing people, they'll come and they will want to sit with you, with your company. They want to learn from you. They want to give you opportunities that you're thinking of your mind with that idea before you go to them. You're like, how do you know? How did you know that I wanted this? Or you'll say to yourself that this person is helping me. How does he know? Like for example, one time I was working and I didn't have any customers. No customers were walking into the store. So I did something. I did some type of setup, and people started coming in. And they started coming in so much that no one was in the other stores in the mall. No one was there. Even the managers of other stores, they were coming into my store. But the question is, who was telling them to come to the store? Did I go and tell each person, you have to come to my store? If you don't come, something bad is going to happen to you? No. I just made a dua and I'm like, God, I'm going to look really bad in front of my boss, please help me out, I'm weak, I want that raise, I want that promotion, help me out a little bit, It's good to ask for Allah. You have to ask. You have to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to seek His help in this life. But the reward, the final reward is in the hereafter. I'll give you this example and we'll conclude and then we'll finish off the topic tomorrow. For example, when someone kills another person, he killed another person, and he went to jail. Say for example another person killed 5 people. Now you can punish in the Islamic law, if you kill one person, al-aynu bil-ayn wa sinnu bis-sinda. If you kill one person, you have, the right to punish that person for the killing of the one person. You'll take the judgment will go against only one person. That person will not get the punishment of 5 deaths. For example, the death penalty. He'll get 1 death penalty because you only die once, right? So you won't get the full punishment in this life. And the same thing with the reward. You won't get the full reward in this life. You'll get half of it. The rest of the reward, you'll get it in the hereafter. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say the whole idea is that when we come, yes, the only one that you should ask is Allah. Ask Him for anything that you want. Ask Him and cry and beg Him and cry. Sometimes Allah doesn't answer your prayers because He wants to hear you. He wants to hear your voice. You find that sometimes you love a person and that person loves you, and you know for a fact that that person loves you. It's a fact. It's a fact. I mean, why do they go from the morning till the night and working and breaking their back and sweating and doing all of these things if they don't love you? Oh, they can just sit at home and look at you or watch TV all day. They can do that. But they go out and they break their back to make sure that there is food on the table, all these things. You may say that no, he's just doing it for himself because he wants to fill his stomach. If he doesn't bring me food, I can't cook, for example. That's the thing. That's the only reason why he's doing it. It's not because he loves me. But you find that it's necessary to tell that person that you love them. You have to say it, not just keep it in your heart. It's not good enough to bring flowers and chocolate anymore. You have to show it, not only show it, but say it. Say that you love that person. Tell your mom, I love you, mom. Tell your dad, I love you, dad. Your grandma and your grandfather. Tell them that you love them. Tell that you love your sister or your brother. It's not wrong. So sometimes Allah doesn't answer you because He wants to hear your voice. So to conclude, brothers and sisters, now that we have understood Shaitan's qualities, the benefit of Shaitan, we said that the benefit of Shaitan is, why did Allah keep him alive? Allah kept him alive so he can be attached to the mu'mineen. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell the Shaitan? He said, you will be able to misguide all of mankind except a few, your sincere believers. Who are your sincere believers? إِلَّا عِبَادَكَ الْمُخْلَصُونَ. Your sincere servants are the ones who have the love of Muhammad in their heart. Salawat. These are the sincere servants. Why? Because we have the tools and the shields to protect ourselves from the attacks of Shaitan. This is why we follow Ahlul Bayt. This is why the Holy Prophet, he came and he said, I leave to you two weighty things. I leave to you my Quran and I leave to you my Ahlul Bayt. If you hold on to these two, they will reach you, make you reach the Kawthar. They will make you reach the light and felicity in this life and the hereafter. So I conclude with that, brothers and sisters, and we will wrap up the whole subject tomorrow, inshallah. We'll give more practical examples of how Shaitan is trying his hardest to try to mislead us and to know the difference between a real scholar and a fake scholar, and on a common level to know the difference between a real person and a fake person. Because you know we only have 5 senses. 5 senses. You really can't, really, you can only know so much about a person by studying his body language. His body language. Like for example, they say if you stand straight and you have your chest out, that person is a confident person, right? Or if he smiles, he's smiling and he's jolly, the happiest person. It's like he won the lottery yesterday. And that's why he's smiling. They say fake it until you make it, right? But if you're a mu'min, you don't have to fake anything because you're always a believer. You're always a mu'min. You're always a believer in Allah. The believers in Allah, they're always happy and they're excited and they can't wait to wake up to live their life because it's so beautiful. Because they've recognized the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And once you recognize those blessings that you have, you'll never be depressed, you'll never be stressed, you'll never get to you. They say that you'll have a thick skin. It's really a thick soul and a thick heart, because the only one in your heart is Allah. And the secret to a successful relationship, brothers and sisters, I know I see all of you young here, inshallah, you can use this when you want to get married. The secret to a successful marriage is to have that love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your heart. Your main focus is Allah. Once your main focus is Allah, for example, the man, his main focus is Allah. The woman, her main focus is Allah. And who are you connecting to? Both of you are connecting to Allah, the all good, the all merciful, the all compassionate, the all loving. So when you're connected to Him, your relationship not only becomes a physical one, but a more of a supreme relationship. Connected, your souls are connected. And sometimes, you may have your loved one that comes to you, okay, are you going to go and marry Hur al-Ain in Jannah? Are you going to go marry a different woman when you get married? You always get that question asked. It's always after the the first week of your wedding. You didn't ask that question during engagement, but in wedding, you ask that question after like a week or two. So the idea is when you, that's why the Holy Prophet, what does he say? He says, if you come and you want to marry someone, don't marry that person for their looks, because that's the only thing that you will get. Don't come and marry a person for their money, because that's the only thing you will get. Come and marry a person based on their faith, and you will get beauty. Allah will make them look beautiful, and I'm sure they're already beautiful in your eyes. He'll make them look even more beautiful, and you'll get the money, and you have the faith. So the faith is what connects you to each other. And just to add the cherry on top, once you have that relationship, that divine relationship between a man and a woman, and it's connected to Allah, they will be your soulmate for life. So what does that mean? When she asks you that question, are you going to marry someone after me if I die? You're going to say, you're my soulmates. So this is the perfect answer to answer her. And she is your soulmate, not only in this life, but in the afterlife. So that's the secret to a successful marriage. Because if you don't have the idea in your mind that this is a divine relationship and you're not connected to Allah, then the only one to connect to is Satan. That's your own. And when you're connected to the shaitan, imagine the impossible. Everything will go down the drain. Everything. Because shaitan is never satisfied, and he will infuse that quality into you. You'll never be satisfied. And there's no way you can be ever satisfied materialistically. It's like when you go into an ocean and you drink the water of the ocean, you'll always become thirsty. And that's why we have a tradition from our imams that says that there's two things you will never be satisfied ever from. That is this worldly life, this materialistic life, and knowledge. Two things. Because knowledge, it's in a never-ending ocean. And this materialistic life is never-ending as well. If you get a car, you want a better car. If you get a house, you want a better house. If you have money, you want more money, and so on and so forth. So the best thing to do is to be happy and satisfied with what you have, and you say, Alhamdulillah, and you thank Allah for your blessings. And when that time comes of Allah showering you with His blessings, then that will be the right time. Because maybe if He gives it to you right now, you'll lose your religion. You'll lose your iman and your faith and everything. And same thing goes for a relationship. Why doesn't God give me everything like right now so I can, make my wife happy or make my husband happy materialistically? Testing you. He wants to see if you're patient, if she's patient, how patient are you? So this life is our this holy month. We have a few days left in holy month of Ramadan. Make the best of it. Make sure that you strengthen and tie up the loose knots in your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's only a couple more days left, and we're almost to the finish, almost there. And this is our opportunity. An opportunity to show Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we are sincere believers in Him. And we said that fasting is the outer appearance of sincerity, the inner appearance of sincerity between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah, this holy month, blessed month, has made us more sincere believers and servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I ask Allah to accept these humble words from us and to accept this humble majlis from us and to make us better believers in Him and to strengthen our relationship with Allah and to strengthen our relationship between us, between the husbands and the wives, and inshallah to bless this community with new marriages and new births, inshallah, and to allow His and to shower His blessings and protection on this blessed community here in the Islamic Center of America. And ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of the helpers of the Imam, the 12th Imam, when He returns, and for the hastening of His reappearance, and for the blessings of you. I thank you all for coming and attending tonight's program, and I look forward to seeing all of you. Tomorrow is the last day, and then we have the Eid party. Don't forget, because you know that saying, you only live once. You physically only live once, but spiritually, you never die. You never have a expiration date. So you have to party. You party hard or you go home. Really? You've heard that saying a lot, right? But you never heard it in the mosque, right? It's like a taboo. Oh, brother, what did he say? Party hard or go home. Yeah, you have to party, especially when you're a believer. You're not a good believer if you don't party hard. If you don't know how to party, you're not a good believer. I'm sorry. You're not. You gotta have fun. You gotta party hard. You gotta do it like you mean it. You gotta raise the roof, ya kharoof. Did he really say that? Yes, he did. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. You gotta have fun, being a mu'min and being a believer in Allah, you have fun. Be excited and have fun. And you gotta party hard when the day of Eid comes. Not now, you still have 2 days, okay? So don't stop partying from now, Think about it, anticipate it, but don't do anything now. Don't say that, oh, brother Muhammad al-Najjar said to party now. No, I'm not saying now. In 2 days, when they bring the house bouncing things, what do they call them? Jumping, I don't know what they call them. Bounce houses, someone help me here? Yeah, something like that. When they bring those things, then you can jump as much as you want and party. We're gonna have barbecue and everything over there. That's the translation of if you're a believer or not. That's how you know if a person is a believer. If that person makes you have fun and is an exciting person, like you're always excited and happy to be like with them all the time, they make everything fun, then they're a believer. If you walk into the mosque, sometimes you walk into the mosque and you look at the people, you look at them as if there's a funeral going on in the center. It's a funeral. It's mourning. It's like the day of judgment. Why? Why? Smile, laugh, say salam, be happy. You're walking. Everyone's the straightest face in the world. Why? What happened? Gotta be happy. You gotta enjoy life. You only live physically once, and you gotta make the most of it. Make the most of it. Don't be a boring person. No one wants to be a person. If that person is boring, leave them. I'm telling you, leave them. I'm responsibility, okay? If that person is boring, leave them. Okay, if they're boring, if they're, they have some issues, leave them. You have a choice. Leave them, go find someone that is fun and exciting. Okay? And don't go on YouTube to try to make yourself laugh, off of YouTube. Go find a real person, a human being, okay? And do something, go to the park, Or what you can do is this Eid, it's coming, this party is gonna be here. Your family, bring your friends, bring everyone, and have fun, okay? If I see a person frowning, anytime, me personally, when I see a person that's frowning in the mosque, I go straight up to them and I try to crack like 5 jokes. Sometimes I don't even get a smile out of it, but you try your best, So, because if you walk with a person that's negative all the time, eventually you're gonna become negative. Eventually, no matter how, they're like their energy fires. That's what I call them. They suck your energy. They like kryptonite to Superman. Who wants a person like that? And you feel it, like you're losing the energy, it's like you feel it, it's draining. You need to charge your battery. So this holy month of Ramadan, you have charged your battery spiritually. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Find happy and excited people and live your lives and have fun and party hard or go home. Party hard in the mosque or go home. I'll take full responsibility for that as well. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So let's conclude with that, brothers and sisters. It's almost time to go. Let us recite Surah Al-Fatiha for the founding fathers, the Imam Jawad Shirri. and the deceased of the board members who work day and night to try to bring such programs. And let us recite Surah Al-Fatiha for your deceased and all martyrs of Islam. And before that, 3 loud salawats ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allah. Now, if anyone has any questions, you can feel free to ask me. I promise I won't bite. I won't bite. You can ask any question you want. Any questions? Yes? No? I see your hand. It went up and then it came down really fast. No? No questions from here? No? Okay. No? So you guys are firm in your decision, right? No questions. Okay, do you have any suggestions? Any comments or anything? Huh? Hi? Hey, that's good, you know, at least we got something, you know? Okay, so yeah, so that'll be it. So inshallah tomorrow, yeah. Oh, question. Oh, okay. Can someone tell me that question? What is it? Oh, if you want to ask God a question? Yes, very good. That is a very good question. Well, if you want to ask God a question, if you want to ask God a question, then you just ask Him. Ask Him. Just whatever you want to ask Him. You ask Him, and you're asking, how will He answer you? How would you know if He's going to answer you? Well, it depends on it depends on you. It depends how sincere you are in asking for it. And He will answer you. I mean, He says, just ask me and I'll give it to you. Ask me. So, and the time to do it is now. You have 2 days left. That's your countdown, 2 days. The best time to ask is the month of Ramadan. And the best, I'm sure you did, you asked in Laylatul Qadr, right? That's it, there you go. You asked in Laylatul Qadr. So you already know. You teach me about Laylatul Qadr. You give me a few pointers, not me giving you. I don't know, I'm not like Albert Einstein here, you know? I mean, I'm just good at talking, you know? That's why I'm talking to you, you know? But we're here to learn from everyone. I'm here to learn from you, and you're here to learn from me. I'm here to grow. There's a lot of things I don't know. I don't know everything. Don't think that I know everything. I have all the answers. I don't. I'm just like you. And one day, you guys are going to be standing where I'm standing. And you're going to be teaching me things that I don't know. You know? So, if you want Allah to, anything that you have, you can ask Him. And I don't want to keep on going because it's like 12 o'clock right now. I mean, I can keep on going, but really, honestly, I just want to say this one thing, that all of you have a gift. You all have a gift. Don't think that you're not special, because the special, we say like that person is special. No. Special meaning that Allah has invited you here. He invited you to come here. You are, because I'm speaking here, or because, you wanted to come here. Yes, you made that initiative, but the initial invitation came from Allah. He invited you to come here because He loves you, and you are His guest. And we are all of His guests in this holy month of Ramadan. We are all His special. So, we should take advantage of reaping the benefits of being Allah His guest. And there's nothing that can compensate for being Allah His guest in this month. He's inviting you. How great Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. The President invites you for dinner. The President invites you for dinner. But inshallah, Ayatollah Khamenei or Ayatollah Sistani invites you for dinner. What will you do? You'll wear the best clothes, right? You'll go shopping for the best clothes, you wear the best perfume, you'll dress up and look the best, right? Because that president or the Ayatollah has invited you. How about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How great is God that He is inviting you? What are you going to do? Right? You're going to wear your best clothes. I'm sure all of you are going to wear your best clothes on Eid. On Eid, right? Everyone's going to wear their best clothes, best shoes. I don't know if you already went shopping in the malls. There's some good sales. I went today. Some good sales over there. I did some preview shopping for you guys. Yes. Question? Exactly. That is a very good question, and I will answer that question tomorrow. Inshallah. Standing? Honestly, when I first started talking, yeah, I did get tired. You know, I would get feel dizzy. You know, I think I was gonna fall sideways, not backwards. Either this way or this way. So I would have to make that choice. Which one? Maybe because you're gonna get the good, result in your right, so maybe it'll be a good idea to fall to the right. Yeah, but no. Alhamdulillah, honestly, I enjoy standing. I can sit down or stand, but I love talking about, and I love giving that people, that you still have hope with God. It's never too late. If there was someone that does not want you to make a mistake, it's shaitan. Shaitan doesn't want you to make a mistake. He wants you to be perfect. But you grow up hearing the idea that God wants me to be perfect. No. Shaitan wants you to be perfect. Why? Because when you make that mistake, you're going to feel so bad that you're not going to ask for Allah's forgiveness. See? See how that is? So shaitan doesn't want you to make mistakes because he knows that if you make a mistake and you go and you ask Allah for forgiveness and He forgives you, you'll discover how merciful and compassionate He is. Even more. See? But how many of us really think that way about Islam? And this is the problem. We have misunderstood the religion of Islam. We've taken it of outer appearances. Outer appearance. For example, we're praying in the room, right? We're praying, and then our parents walk in. What do? All of a sudden you start praying very slow. People are looking at you, right? So the religion of Islam has nothing to do with outer appearances, outside, how you look, how you talk, what you have, and possessions, money, cars, houses. Not that. It's about you, your heart, and God. You and God. It's between you and God. You don't come and tell people, I'm religious, I'm this, I'm that. Who cares? So what? It's between you and God. It's your actions that show if you're religious or not. If you're a nice person, if you say a nice compliment to a person, it's not haram to give a person a compliment. It's not haram to smile. Smiles to